Howdy everyone, Poultry here with an Age of Magic video, and today we are going to go over the tier list for 1.8. As usual, this tier list has been created by myself. It's my personal preference of characters I found most useful so far within PvP, raids, and just general content. So if you guys have your own little characters that you find or think are top tier, please feel free to leave a message below. But yeah, these are just the characters I find personally that have done the best so far. So let's enter the Fantasy Club and let's see who has gained entry for this season. In first place, we have Siegfried. Now, Siegfried is the newest character, or one of the newest characters to the game. He is a tank. Now, what makes him very useful is he enters the battle with his taunt ability active. Now, this is a really good start up to the game. It's allowing you to use other abilities other than a taunt ability that's already active. You can use his defensive ability. You can just use a basic attack. It's an extra attack you're getting, essentially, without having to use that taunt ability. So that taunt ability enters the battle on cooldown. You'll be able to use it again later on. But yeah, massive. Entering with a taunt, giving your healers and DPS a bit of leeway to do whatever they need to do. He also has the highest increase to defense in-game, so he has the ability to increase his defense by a massive portion, making him real tanky. Now, I have heard that there's like a defense cap, so this is a bit iffy, but yeah, he has huge defenses. That's another big thing. Not only does he give himself huge defensive abilities, but he also has a passive that increases the defense of allies if they're hit in combat. So he's making the team pretty tanky, starting off the battle with a taunt, pretty good. Give him the hits, your team can do whatever they want. It's really good for raids as well. Overall, pretty solid character. Next up, we have Arakengard. Now, why Arakengard is so good is because he has a low cooldown taunt. He increases his magical dodge and fortitude, and he has the ability to self-heal. And with that low cooldown taunt, I think there's only one round in the battle where he isn't taunting the enemy. So you have a lot of time to get the enemy off your healers, your DPS, focus on Arakengard. Yeah, he can heal himself up. He's really good. Tanks have had a bit of a comeback in this patch because they've taken the focus off the healers, and since healers are so weak now, any DPS you can take off them is huge. So these two tanks are definitely top tier again. I think they've helped me a lot in combat. They do well in raids and PvP. Arakengard especially is one of the tanks I use in PvP. I might change him to Siegfried if I get my Siegfried up there, but Arakengard's a great substitute. Can help your team out a lot. Tanks definitely making a comeback. They're still not strong. That's the thing with tanks though. They're still not strong, but they're doing well now in this patch. After the tanks, we have the healers. Not much has changed. You have your Holy Trinity. You have Lucky. She has a healing ability that leaves a hot on allies. So this is her first ability. It's been changed as well. It used to leave a buff on allies that increased the healing they received. Instead, now it reduces the damage they take. So if you pair her with someone like Siegfried, you've just got a team that's taking less and less damage. Massive armor, reduced damage. It all works really well. Her last ability is a heal or a resurrect. It's a very powerful heal if you don't use it to resurrect. Sometimes it's better to use it as that healing ability instead of the resurrect. You can save a character, get more health instead of having to wait the next turn to resurrect them in case they die. So I've used that especially in raids. It's really good to use it as a heal. But yeah, again, in this patch, they've nerfed all the healers equally. So all the healers that were top tier last patch are still top tier this patch. Even though they're significantly weaker, you're still using the same healers. That's why we call them the Holy Trinity, or I call them the Holy Trinity. So after Lucky, we have Zart. Now, Zart, in my personal opinion, is the greatest healer of this patch. He increases the allies' dodge chance higher if demon. So that means if you're using that succubus that you really want to get because she's really good, he's increasing her dodge chance even more than it would any other character. Lowers enemy speed. Again, this is huge. This is the biggest part of Zart, I believe. He decreases the enemy speed by 30% at max level. So this is his Darkness of Oblivion move. This is all in the same move, the increased dodge and the decreased speed. This is all the same ability. So this is huge if it's paired with someone like Rock or Succubus, someone with great CC. By the time the enemy breaks out of that CC, Darkness of Oblivion is back up. You can use it again. It's a horrible cycle for the enemy. It can guarantee you a win a lot of the time because the enemy just can't get out of that freeze or that lockdown, and it's just a horrible, horrible cycle for him. His last ability, Illusory Immortality, has a lot of things to it. Can resurrect one ally with a chance of resurrecting 2 more. Resurrected champions will gain the immortality buff and die after 2 turns. Heroes healed will receive a dot for 2 turns, but also take less damage. This ability is very useful and probably one of the most useful in the game. It has a lot of uses, specifically in tournament and raids. If you are losing a battle and you feel like you cannot win, use this ability to heal or resurrect as many champions as you can and get out of the fight. Use this in raids, resurrect, get out. You're saving yourself using those healing kits to revive a champion, where you can just simply use a healing kit to heal a champion. Same in tournament. If you lose your heroes, you feel like you're going to lose the battle, use this ability to resurrect as many champions as you can, exit the fight, those heroes will be alive. You can enter a weaker battle, heal them up, continue. This is a survival ability, and it works really well in battle as well. It heals for a lot. It gives you a dot, but the dot is barely noticeable, but it also reduces the damage you take by a high percentage. This character, Xar, is very versatile, can help you in almost every situation, and that is why I think he is one of the best healers, if not one of the best characters in the game at the moment. Now on to the last of the Holy Trinity, everyone's favourite, Azariel, passive immortality on first to take fatal damage. Now, for those that are unaware, immortality has been nerfed. It used to be able to last for 2 turns, which it still does. However, if you hit a target 8 times, the immortality breaks, and this includes dots, so it's huge. It's really weakened Azariel because she isn't able to keep that character up for 2 turns, and that was really powerful on tanks that were really slow. Now you can break through it. So if you keep pounding that target that has immortality, you will eventually break through, and it has weakened her a lot. High chance of using double abilities. And if you time it really well, you can use all of her abilities in a single go. The way it works is her special abilities, Brotherhood of Blood and Red Shadow, they have a high chance of allowing you to cast another ability in the same turn. So if your team's taken huge damage, you can cast one of these special abilities. It'll give you the chance of casting another one. If you cast a second special ability, it'll give you a chance to cast another, and then you can cast her basic attack. So you can get 3 abilities off in one go with her. It's really good, can heal your whole team up to full health sometimes. So that's where her strength comes, is massive team healing. To top her off, she has passive self-healing, making her survivability insane in battle, pairing her with people like Siegfried and Lucky, reducing the damage she takes, increasing her defenses. She's going to be in battle for the long run. However, she is only a shadow of what she used to be. Do not focus her in battle. Okay, her immortality can be broken. Aim for a different character like Lucky or Xar in battle. Do not focus her. She will die eventually. Leave her to last. She's not that big of a threat. Sure, she's going to get a lot of healing out, but if you can focus a Resurrector and get rid of them, Azariel is not a worry. That's how I play my games. I always leave Azariel to last because I really don't think she's that much of a threat. And eventually I'll release PvP videos to help people in Arena, and I'll show you how to deal with her. Like, she's very manageable now compared to what she used to be pre 1.8. Now we're moving on to the top damage dealers for 1.8, and can you believe it, Succubus has made the ranks. Has the highest level of crowd control of any character in the game, able to silence up to 3 characters for 2 turns with a low cooldown. This is why she works really well with Xar. Xar can lower the speed of the enemy team. Succubus silences them. By the time that speed debuff runs out, Succubus's silence is back up and you can re-silence them. Those enemies aren't getting those abilities out. And it's double dotting them as well, so it's extra damage. It's a crazy combination. I think anyone that doesn't have it yet should really look into it. Along with that, she has one of the highest damaging abilities when Deadly Passion is used on a target suffering from demonic kiss. Now, I have mentioned this in previous videos. I'm going to mention it again. Do not use this combination unless you are using it to finish off an enemy. It is not worth it. Using the Deadly Passion ability removes the silence from the enemy, and you would rather have that silence up for 2 turns than using a high damaging ability. That's why you only want to use it as a finishing move. And the way Succubus is built at the moment, I honestly believe she is the strongest champion in the game. Along with her in the damage category, we have everyone's favourite little rat, Rock, one of the quickest champions in the game, 5-player freeze on a low cooldown. Rock has been a top tier champion ever since his release. He's a really good beginner character for people to get. He helps in every bit of content, PvE, tournament, raids, arena. He's usable everywhere. His freeze is just amazing, can give you that bit of advantage at the start of the battle. And he is one of the quickest characters in the game. There are only 2 characters that I know of that can beat him in speed, and that's Cage and the other one is Swamp Killer. So Yeah, he's just a really good character, worthwhile getting. So those are the top tier characters for 1.8. However, I do have honorable mentions. I have found these next characters to be useful in certain situations and definitely shouldn't be looked over. Our first honorable mention goes to Araken Shadow. At max level, can prevent healing on an enemy for 3 turns, can also lower the accuracy of an enemy. Now, what someone once said in Discord was that the healer nerf has only made healers more viable. You need healers on your team to survive, and a character like Araken Shadow is going to shut those healers down. Negating healing on a character for 3 turns is huge. It's going to give you a massive advantage. You can dish out all that damage and knock them out and then focus on someone else. So if you aim someone like Lucky or Zart, get that character out of the battle so they can't resurrect, you've got yourself a bit of an advantage there. Next honorable mention goes to Cage. I know that's not how you fucking pronounce his name. I'm going to call him Cage anyway because I don't care. He's a better version of Araken Shadow. His Death Strike ability can negate healing for 3 turns. However, if Death Strike kills the enemy, they can't be resurrected. Now, this is huge. Having a character not being able to be brought back to life is a massive advantage, and I find he works really well with Araken Shadow. If you use Araken Shadow's ability first to negate the healing, then you use this ability to finish that character off, you've got an advantage. You got a 4v5, they can't resurrect that champion. Huge. The greatest thing about this ability as well is it can't be dodged. That's what it says in the description. If something does dodge it, it's a bug, okay? It cannot be dodged. Use it as a finisher to negate that resurrection. Our next honorable mention goes to Mabe. Now, this was a tricky one. I didn't know whether to give her an honorable mention or a top tier, simply because no one in the game has her fully maxed out. I'm not 100% sure how she will do in battle, but on paper, she looks really well. We'll go over what she can do. You guys can decide whether or not you want to go for it. She can lock down a character's moveset for several turns. A huge advantage, pretty much a silence, but for one character. So, not as great as Succubus, however, at max level, I'm pretty sure she can lock down a character's moveset for 3 turns. Pretty good. She is able to apply a dot and reset the initiative one enemy hero. Pretty decent as well. Crowd control or CC or any type of control you can get on the enemy team is huge in this game, especially on fast heroes. That's why Succubus and Rock have just been good for so long. They're fast, they can lock down the enemy. Mabe is fast, she can also lock down an enemy. So it's really good. I find those are the best moves in the game, is when you can control the enemy team. Now, with her passive Emerald Shadow, she has the potential of becoming the fastest character in the game. Naturally, she's not, but the way it works is when you use crowd control, specifically freezes and slows on the enemy team, Mabe's speed increases drastically. Therefore, she's being able to use her moves a lot quicker. She's going to be dishing out damage a lot faster, and that's why I want to give her an honorable mention. I feel like she could be a devastating damage dealer in the game. However, until we start seeing her a lot more and what she can do, I'm just going to keep her in honorable mentions for now. Obviously, you can see her in raids when you're battling her, but I don't feel like that's really showing off her moveset, as she's not being paired with the characters that give her that huge advantage. Anyway, guys, this has been my top tier video for 1.8. Like I mention every single time, this is my personal opinion. These are the champions I have found to work best for me in every bit of content in the game thus far. Things can change. You guys might have your own secret characters that you use. Please feel free to leave a comment below, and I'm happy to discuss with you characters that I might have missed or characters you're using to help you. But yeah, these are just the characters I've found to work best for me. As usual, guys, if you have a question, please feel free to leave a comment below and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. I wish you all the best in the new years, and until next time, please take care of yourselves.